The recent fare hikes for the LRT1, LRT2, and the MRT has triggered concerns, especially from commuters which ride Metro Manila's mass transport system. Most affected are workers and students. Today, the House Committee on Transportation conducted a hearing to find out the reasons behind the fare adjustment. Joining us tonight is Congressman Alfredo Albee Benitez, Chairman of the House Committee. Good evening, sir. Welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening, Robert.
So you attended the meeting today. Now, was it able to uncover the facts on why there is a need for the fare hikes?
Well, DOTC was there, and they explained that the fare hike would probably improve the services of the train system. And we specified, and we asked them specifically to make sure that the services like the train stoppage, the long lines, will be rectified with this fare hike.
Mm-hmm. Now, sir, the DOTC said that it's very important to rehabilitate the 3 train lines to improve the services. What's your take on this one?
Well, I think government should really have come up with a national policy on this matter. Whether it will be a user pay principle or it will be a subsidized concept, or a combination of both. Because if you would go with a user pay principle, that means that the fare would be about 60 pesos from end to end. So, commuters will have to pay that much to be able to afford the train system that's now in place. But if we go on a subsidized system, then that means government should shell out about 20 billion pesos to subsidize the fares of our commuters in Metro Manila. So I think what government is doing right now is a combination of both, a user pay principle and a subsidized system. But the question is, how much do you subsidize? 10%, 20%, 50%? So that is what the question is being asked right now. So if we were to subsidize it at maybe at 20-30%, what would be the fair price to be allocated to our consumers or commuters? Right?
So now, during the hearing, sir, some of your colleagues would argue that there is no need for a fare hike since there's already a budget given by the government for the rehabilitation of the trains.
Well, that's exactly it. I think that the budget being allocated for the trains is not enough. It requires a little bit more money for it to be able to run smoothly. So again, I go back to the question, what would be a fair price for our fares? And I think DOTC is saying that we should be at par with the different modes of transportation in Metro Manila. And if you look at the fare increase that is being proposed or has actually been implemented by DOTC, it really matches jeepneys, it matches the bus, it matches the aircon bus, so it's not far off from the different transportation modes in Metro Manila right now. And it's actually even cheaper. If you take an air-conditioned bus, it's about 41 pesos. For our train system, the proposed or the implemented rate is 28.
So looking at it at the business standpoint, is the commuters' fares the only revenue stream that the LRT 1 and 2 and the MRT have?
No, it's not. There is also other revenues coming from advertisement, real estate rental, and I think in some other countries that is not that is a major contribution to the revenue stream of the train system. And I think in this case, I think we did ask, but DOTC is entangled with a legal battle with some of its concessionaire, which is why not all the revenue streams coming from that angle is being collected.
But hypothetically, if that happens, would that be enough to actually supplement the cost for the rehabilitation and therefore not have to do the fare hike?
It would add. It would add to the requirement of the rehabilitation of the train system. Definitely. And I think maybe DOTC should really come up with other measures to be able to increase the revenue streaming coming from that purpose.
So, do you have your own personal, let's say, ways to see if there's improvement of services? Your own ideas?
Well, we made DOTC commit to make sure that the services of the trains are properly rehabilitated. I think you will see the long lines. I mean, it's not hard to see whether the services are actually efficiently running or not. So trains not stopping. people having a hard time getting into the trains and then waiting for a long time. So for sure we'll be able to see whether they have delivered on their promise or not.
Now, how do we make the public aware that there really is a need for the fare hike, and this in the long term that it will actually benefit them? Because right now there are sectors that are...
Well, DOTC was saying that one of the reasons why it's such a dismal state right now is because they don't have enough money. And that was very clear when I asked them that. And I said, if we do this fare hike, can you commit to the improved services that you've been mentioning? And I really put them to the task and said, would you put your position and your neck on the line? And they said yes.
And a final word from you, sir?
Well, again, I think government should really come up with a national policy on this, and how much subsidy should be given to this system. And then once and for all, make a decision whether we go on a user's pay principle or a subsidized concept.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us here tonight on NewsLife. That was Congressman Albee Benitez, Chairman of the House Committee. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.